Hi, I'm Alicia Butler-Pierre, producer and host of the Business Infrastructure Podcast, the show where we share practical tips, tools, and tactics to scale your fast-growing small business with less pain. The video you're about to watch is a snippet of my interview with Jesse Torres. Make sure you subscribe so that you can continue to receive resources for calming the chaos of fast growth. Let's get to the video. This episode is brought to you by Equilibria Incorporated, the company behind this podcast, where we design scale-ready business infrastructure for fast-growing small businesses.
All my life, I've had mentors telling me one of the most valuable assets you'll ever have are your connections. And even more so, if you're the kind of person that can really find ways to help connect people together. If you do that really well, you'll find great success in life. And so I learned quite a bit from folks before me who are really, really good at that and helped train me so that when the opportunity came, I knew how to do that with people that I knew needed support.
This is the Business Infrastructure Podcast, the show where we offer strategies, tactics, and resources to cure back office blues and to keep your business operating as good on the inside as it looks on the outside. I'm Alicia Butler-Pierre, and I'll be your guide on what is sure to be an interesting journey with Jesse Torres. He's the person whose voice you just heard. In his book, The Tipping Point, best-selling author Malcolm Gladwell classifies some people as connectors. These are people with a special gift for bringing the world together. And Jesse is a master connector. Jesse Torres is the founder and CEO of ArroyoWest, a management consulting firm with emphasis on economic and workforce development solutions for public and private agencies in the U.S. Get ready for an interesting ride as he gives us an audio tour of his career journey, a journey that prepared him to connect resources to help solve a problem that impacted the world and tested everyone's resolve. This is episode 219, The Connector, how Jesse Torres leveraged his network for mass distribution of PPE.
This is Jesse Torres from here in sunny Southern California, the LA area. I'm born and raised in Los Angeles County. My pathway to entrepreneurship is a convoluted, complex journey, and I'll do my very, very best to give you the shortcut version because otherwise we'll be here for way too long. I went to University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA for my undergraduate, and I actually went in thinking I was going to become the next George Clooney, and not meaning I want to become an actor, but at that time he was starring in a TV series called ER. And all of us young people at that time, we were dazzled by the idea of becoming the next cool doctor. And I quickly realized my freshman year, maybe sophomore year, that was just not for me. Organic chemistry just really kind of made me realize that I needed to pursue a different journey. And like I say, most other undergraduates, I took some time thinking about what I wanted to do.
Jesse's deep thinking led him to pursue a minor in English, a subject that he loved. He would become a writer, or so he thought.
Right after college, I went to go work for an alternative newspaper called the LA Weekly, and I was an intern there. I actually pursued and received a job at the LA Times. And then the week that I secured my job at the LA Times, they were bought out by the Chicago Tribune, and the position that I was originally going to be working got eliminated. And so I realized that, oh, wow, I need to find another way to start paying for my student loans.
It was the late 90s, and Jesse was in his early 20s. He found his next job at the University of Southern California.
They were hiring in the prospect research department of the health science campus of USC. And that's actually one of the first, I would say, real jobs I had after college. And I got to learn all about fundraising and the real kind of nuts and bolts of fundraising, which included prospect research, which meant how to research individuals that you actually want to pursue for funding. You wanted to pursue them for a solicitation, and you wanted them to become a donor. I was also processing donations for the health science campus. So you had two very young guys, me and my friend Damien, managing millions of dollars essentially of donations coming in to fund things like the latest and greatest in science discovery to help people who are battling things like cancer and other illnesses.
Jesse eventually left that job, still eager to pursue his passion for writing. His next gig found him working at a startup geared towards supporting musicians, followed by another gig at America Online.
For those of you that still remember America Online or AOL, I became the music editor there for the West, and wrote a lot of copy, managed a team of writers that helped promote different musical acts as they were traveling around the country. That was the very early stages of the .com kind of world as we knew it.
Although the passion was there, the money, unfortunately, was not. Jesse needed a full-time position that not only paid well, but included benefits. That's when he began working at the Geffen Playhouse, a nonprofit regional theater based in Los Angeles.
That position gave me significant experience that I've used later in my life in my business. At the theater, I had the opportunity to work with the founder of the theater, Gil Cates. And he was the first person who really told me that if you wanted to build relationships, you had to treat people like family, take care of them. You remember their birthday, make them feel special, impress upon me the understanding of how to treat people well. And in doing so, that you can make your business run well. I actually thought that my career would be in arts management. I really loved working with the theater. But I knew that in order to become a manager, I needed to bolster my financial education.
That realization led Jesse to enroll in graduate school at Pepperdine University.
I decided to get my master's in business administration. Pepperdine happened to have a program where if you were a staff member, you could actually get your education at no cost. The thing was that if you wanted to take a class at Pepperdine, you would have to go to any of the campuses that are offering that class.
And that's how Jesse landed his next job. Although he loved working at the Geffen Playhouse, he knew they couldn't help pay for his education at this private university. He first worked as an alumni officer and then as an alumni director at Pepperdine's business school. He credits this experience with learning how to form teams to get things done. A couple of years later, he had his MBA.
One thing I discovered in engaging my alumni who all worked in very different industries is that they all had a fascination with entrepreneurship. So I did a whole lot of events around things like private capital, venture capital, negotiating term sheets, the basics of entrepreneurships. I would do a lot of industry events.
Planning those events and networking with alumni gave Jesse a solid understanding of the fundamentals of entrepreneurship. It wouldn't be long before the next stop of his career journey approached.
One day, a friend of mine and a fellow alumnus at Pepperdine said, there's this position open. It's for a federal program that helps small businesses. I think it'd be great. It's called the Small Business Development Center program.
Jesse applied and soon became the regional director of the Orange County Small Business Development Center. The Small Business Development Center, also known as SBDC, is a government-funded program designed to help entrepreneurs start, run, and grow small businesses. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. You can catch the full interview by going to businessinfrastructure.tv or by clicking the link below in the description box. Don't forget to subscribe so that you'll know exactly when the next episode drops. See you in the next video.
Join us next week for another episode of Business Infrastructure with Alicia Butler-Pierre.